Welcome back to Sketch of the Day. I'm Mr. D, and today we are going to be looking at this shape right here. This one's not a huge step up from our last one, but it is going to practice some of the same skills, and we're going to notice that certain things might be just a little bit trickier than the last one. So my advice to you for today is to take your practice somewhat seriously. Not so seriously that we're not still having some fun doing drawings, but try to get better. That's the purpose for practicing. If you've made a mistake, don't worry about it. Erase it, fix it, and work on developing that eye for what makes the sketch look right, what makes the sketch look a little bit funny, and work on making those corrections along the way. You'll get better for doing it. So just like last time, I'm going to start with the bottom frontmost corner of my shape, and this time I'm going to do my vertical line here first. My depth line is going to go back here in this direction, and my width line is going to go back here in this direction. And those angles that I just decided on are the angles I'm going to stick with throughout this entire shape. So now at the top of this little height line, I need to go back in the depth direction again, and I'm going to be going at the same angle that I went down here. From that same point, I can go back in the width direction here, again using the same angle that I used on my first width line at the base. And once I've reached the ends of those two lines, I can bring them together, again following my depth line for this one, following my width line for this one. So stop, check yourself, and if you see something about your sketch that doesn't look like it's off to a great start, now would be a great time to pause, fix anything that doesn't look quite right, and then pick up where you left off. So now starting in these bottom corners, I need to go vertically. So I'm going to be going up in this direction, same thing over here, and about the same height. Again, just kind of eyeballing things for right now to see if we can develop that skill a little bit. Did I measure the length of this line and then measure the line over here to make sure they were the same? No. But for the purpose of creating sketches quickly, to communicate your ideas quickly, we can't always stop and break out the expensive specialized drawing tools to make sure that everything is just perfect. That's not really the point of these exercises. The point of these exercises is to be able to create sketches accurately enough to communicate the concept without having to spend a tremendous amount of time and labor putting them together. Now, as I'm talking here, I'm just sort of filling in some more of these lines. The vertical ones always going straight up and down, all three of these the same height. My depth lines going back at that same angle that I established way back here at the beginning of my drawing. And my width lines doing the same. And finally, the last things that I have left are to put my back edges on here in my depth direction and in my width direction. I'll go along and clean up any of these edges that could be a little sharper. And touch up any corners that didn't quite come together the first time. Now once I've signed it and dated it, my sketch of the day is complete.